Hello, Durud and Shalom. Hi, everyone. Wow, I see the chat is busy. Thank you guys for being here. I'm here. I thank you so much for promoting the show and telling people to like the stream. Flying Robot Duck saying we're closing on 74,000 subscribers. Yes, we are. Nail Bunny, thank you so much. Okay, people are here. It's already busy. Tora is here. Tora is saying we're the best community. Roy, hey, Roy is here. Fantastic. Seagull. Okay. I see the usernames are showing instead of your actual names. That is fine. All right, guys. So we're gonna try a new thing. This is entirely me just engaging with the live chat, and also in case you want to come and debate me, I will even put a link. I know that the anti-Israelis are too scared to talk to me, but I will provide a link in the live chat in case you want to jump. If you, in case you want to come up and talk to me with audio or video, right? So there's the link. But let me see. Oh, hey, Sam is here. Let me see what you guys are saying right now. So what we're trying to do is to get the anti-Israelis. Usually they show up a little bit later, but I don't see. Let me just. So Roy is pretending to be one of the anti-Israelis, saying, "I'll kick your ass." Sure, Roy, you could come up and pretend to be anti-Israel, and then we could debate like that, guys. If I was pretending to be anti-Israel, I could actually do a really convincing job. Yeah, I don't think anybody's brave enough to come up. They just hear again, they don't have any arguments. They just come here and swear, and then yell, and then just call you a genocide loving, child killer. That's all they do. They don't have nothing else. So what are the accusations often? By the way, guys, if they show up here, the anti-Israelis usually they show up a little bit later, once we, after a few minutes after we start the show. But let's go through the main accusations. Israel commits genocide. Israel is occupied, taken people's lands and occupied that area. It's apartheid. Uses hunger as a weapon of war and starvation. Have I missed anything? Oh yeah, it gets other countries into wars that is, like for example, United States. They drags them into wars that is not good for those countries. It only benefits Israel, but it doesn't serve those countries. Are there anything else? Child killers, genocide, apartheid. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that one. Zionism has stolen the Jewish identity. Yes. Oh, they control America. Yes, they control America from behind the scenes, from in the shadows. Oh yes, USS Liberty. I mean, that was a mistake. That was just a mistake, right? There was no proof that there was any intentional. They're not indigenous to the land. Oh yeah, the Greater Israel. Yes, Amir. They're trying to expand their borders beyond the current borders that they have. Yeah. So I'm saying I hope someone interesting will come out. What is the chance? I don't know. They usually are not brave enough to come up. Again, I will keep putting the link in the chat. This is the link for people to show up. It's a StreamYard link. Oh, thank you. Purple is saying thank you for everything you do, Armin. Well, thank you. Don't forget to Nail Bunny. Okay, Nail Bunny, go ahead. What's your argument? You're saying it's not yours, but what's the argument? Give it to me. I could adjust that one. Yeah, sure. He's not going to debate me. Give me what I can do if nobody shows up. I could debate ChatGPT while pretending that it's. What if we turn ChatGPT into anti-Israeli? What do you guys think? Should we do that? But let me see. Nail Bunny. Greater Israel is like a fact in the Arab and Muslim world. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I saw a clipped out video from Netanyahu. Something was shown to him, and he responded that I show a lot of sympathy to this. I relate to this. What was that? People are saying, like, see, that shows that he wants to expand the borders. Have you guys heard about that? What was that about? Yeah, Sam saying chat. Oh, you got a super chat. Let me see. Thank you for the super chat already at the beginning of the show. Abracadabra. I didn't know. Arrive now. Terror supporter, arrive now and debate Armin. Well, thank you for the super chat. We'll see. Usually they show 20 minutes after the show starts. They start showing up. But let me see. Oh, here Nail Bunny gave. Let's address Nail Bunny's argument, and then we'll start debating ChatGPT. See if it could do any better than these other anti-Israelis, right? When I have asked what Israel should have done after October 7th, I've heard Israel should have taken a beat or thought about what they've done to spark this. Wow, is that like, I don't know. I mean, that's not an argument from their side. This is an argument from our side. Like, I don't need to respond to that. I just need to display that as an argument from the other side, and that would just do its job. It's just the other side has already embarrassed itself for just saying that. Oh, let me see. We got somebody finally, guys. We have somebody. Look at this one. Is this a real person? So hold on. Aisha is saying your defense of settlements is one-sided. Sometimes Israeli settlers attack Palestinians or burn their cars, and the IDF doesn't arrest them. IDF has moral responsibility to prevent those attacks. Yeah, I mean, I would be more than happy to accept certain examples of, like, how do you know I would not condemn that if I investigated that? Like, Aisha, like, how do you know? Maybe like, if you like, even without checking, I can guarantee you that there are going to be certain examples that if I see, I would be like, yeah, that's not cool. That might be even criminal. But when I'm talking about the settlements of the West Bank, I'm not talking about every single soldier doing the right thing, or there be like the Israel has a pure record of no mistakes and it's like 100% all good. That's not my argument. I'm pretty sure you could find me some examples that I would be like, yeah, that's fucked up. Like, I'm pretty sure you will be able to find that. When I'm defending Israel, I'm not defending every single conduct and every single soldier and every single behavior. I'm defending the overall. And again, when it comes to the West settlements in the West Bank, I'm not even commenting on how they're doing it. I'm commenting on the settlements in the West Bank should continue, and Israel should hold on to the West Bank. I haven't on these live streams have never commented on the way they do it, so I don't know how you would suggest that I have defended every single behavior, because I haven't. I just think Israel should just hold on to West Bank and never let it go. If you're telling me that there are incidents that the way that they treated people could have been better, I'm not gonna fight you on that. Again, I don't judge any country or any army based on the actions of, based on their worst actions. I judge them based on their average. Oh, guys, they're showing up. The anti-Israelis are showing up. But Aisha, was that I think your question was very measured. So I don't know what you think about my response. So Aisha is saying you haven't mentioned it yet. Yeah, I haven't looked into it. Google Hawara. Yeah, I mean, I will look into that. Thank you. But I'm pretty sure, like, I mean, even if I look into that, and that was like, even if that is not as bad, or if it is, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there are examples. There are other examples. Like, even if that is a bad example, I'm pretty sure there are other bad examples. But that doesn't contradict my point that Israel should hold on to the West Bank. So maybe if what you're saying is true, I would criticize maybe some of their actions there and the way they're conducting their behavior. But I will still argue for Israel holding West Bank. I don't think it contradicts that. I think if you show me some examples of soldiers in the West Bank behaving not properly, okay, or maybe even criminal, I don't think that negates my point that Israel should hold on to the West Bank. Do you agree with that? So yeah, given that I haven't, you say you have never talked about it. So then how could I have been biased about it if I haven't talked about it? Because your original point was that is my discussion on this topic was one-sided, but I haven't even covered that. So how could I be one-sided? So people are calling you saying the West Bank. The name is not the proper name. It's the name that most people internationally recognize. It. If I use it the names that you want, then many people in the audience would not know what the hell we're talking about. Okay, so here, guys, the anti-Israelis are here. Guys, anti-Israelis, if you want to come talk to me about Israel, oh, how long did it take? 15 minutes. Okay. So this is we have to check every time when we start the live stream, how long does it take for the anti-Israelis to show up? If it seems like it takes 15 minutes. So here I put the link in the chat. Should I also put the link in the description? Maybe I should also put the link in the description. No, I think the chat is good enough. Yeah. So guys, look at it. If you're anti-Israeli, you could come up and talk to me. I will keep putting the link in the chat. Muslims who have never condemned terrorism of Muslim bros have no right to question non-Muslims. I don't agree with that. I think everybody has the right to criticize anybody else. Who pays you? Somebody says, who pays me? Well, so far, somebody's saying, who pays me? So far, Unusual AI gave me a super chat. I'll let you know who pays me by the end of the stream. If I do get more super chats, I'll let you know. Oh, pin the link. You're right. Why didn't I do that already? Good point. Okay, so let me. I should, guys. I have never done this before, so this is a new thing for me. So I'm learning now. Okay, I will do this from now on. Come up and talk to me, and then I will put the link. I should have done that at the beginning of the stream. You're right. And then pin message. There we go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. We're learning. This is a new thing that I'm doing. We'll see. I think at first we're not going to have that many people or anybody show up, but we're going to keep advertising it so that at some point we get regulars coming up. So Armin, let's go. Yes, but I could just respond to the anti-Israelis in the chat in case nobody shows up. Okay, here's one. Somebody saying the vast majority of the world, including the vast majority of people under 50 in the US, oppose the Zionist entity. So, first of all, that's not the statistics I've seen, but even if it is, that doesn't make it. Are you doing an appeal to popularity? That's your argument? Israel is bad because vast majority of the people in the world are against Zionism? That doesn't make it correct. Just because something has popular support, that doesn't mean that it's the correct position. We got a super chat. So the person who was asking me who pays you, apparently Unusual AI, and this person 99 NOFX saying, why did Iran deport 1 million Afghans? Well, Iran did not deport 1 million Afghans. It was the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic is deporting many Afghans because some of them were allegedly involved in spying activities for the 12-day war. So the Islamic Republic is now terrified, and also is trying to gain some favors with the people by kicking out many people from Afghanistan to try to gain some favors from the people, because the people are very, very anti-regime right now. So because the regime used mass migration into Iran from Afghanistan as a way to re-engineer demographics, but also at the same time to whenever it needs favor from the people and needs support from the people, to kick them out. It lets them in and then kicks them out to show people that, hey, I can save you from this mass migration from Afghanistan. Hey, Zionist money, guys, we got Unusual AI just send us more Zionist money. Guys, we're funded by Zionists. Thank you so much, Unusual AI. Guys, whoever is asking if we're funded by Zionists, the answer is yes. Oh, look at this. So, okay, so let me see. Desi, I don't know what your name is. You're saying you're telling me you act like you have a popular position when Israel is hated, bro. When did I act like I have a popular position? You're full of crap. When did I? You're full of shit. Like, when did I act like I have? In fact, I'm defending Israel because it's an unpopular position, you idiot. In fact, this is what this channel does. Goes and supports the ideas that need promote. If it was a popular position, it wouldn't need promoting. Okay, so Aisha, if you use Amnesty as your source, then I don't find it credible. I'm not saying that's wrong, but Amnesty, you're saying Amnesty has said the Israeli military has displaced tens of thousands of Palestinians by destroying homes and essential civilian infrastructure in Jenin and Tulkarm. Yes, refugee camps, rendering them uninhabitable. Yeah. Use a different. I'm not saying you're wrong, but use a different source, because Amnesty also calls Israel an apartheid, and Israel is not an apartheid. I mean, has Amnesty ever called so-called Palestine an apartheid? This is how I know Amnesty cannot be taken seriously, because I know Gaza is apartheid. I know in the West Bank we have apartheid, but none of these organizations ever refer to Gaza or West Bank as apartheid. And the place where Arabs and Jews have equal rights, it calls that apartheid. So no, Israel is not apartheid, but Hamas is apartheid, and the Palestinian Authority is apartheid. But these people will never call them apartheid. So not a reliable source. Oh, thank you. We got more, guys. We got more Zionist funding. UV, thank you so much for the 24 shekels from Israel. I appreciate that. Well, thank you for that. And then also we got another super chat by 99 NOFX saying, "I love Israeli women, love you, and kisses to Mossad." Wow, it got very lovey-dovey here all of a sudden. This is getting kind of romantic. Kisses to Mossad. Yeah. Oh, there we go, guys. The anti-Israelis are here, guys. If you see the pinned comment, why are the anti-Israeli people such cowards? Why don't any of you show up and talk to me? Look at this. Okay, so somebody's saying Israel is a genocidal murder state. Prove me wrong. You fucking idiot. You made the claim. You have to make the burden of the burden of proof is on the shoulder of the claimant. The person who makes the claim has to make. Okay, here's the thing. You're a fucking moron. Prove me wrong. Okay? I mean, is that how it works? You made the claim. You're the one who has to prove it. So Delta, thank you for the super chat. Delta saying Aisha is mostly right. Times of Israel covers it. Yeah, I didn't say Aisha is wrong. I just said, but thank you, Delta, for the super chat. I was just saying that give me a different source, because Amnesty is not a good source. I wasn't saying that she's wrong, but thank you, Delta, for the super chat. I mean, guys, I have videos criticizing certain conduct, certain behavior by some IDF soldiers here. Like, I'm a proud Zionist. I defend Israel. I think Israel has the most moral army in the world. That doesn't mean they're 100% perfect. Obviously, I have shows criticizing some of their behavior. Oh, Jack, okay, saying I sent the Armin plan to ChatGPT. It said it was immoral. Well, screw ChatGPT. Did you prime it against me at the beginning, or was it just unbiased? Yeah, look how look at this. There's so many anti-Israelis in the chat now. No, none of them come up. Guys, look at the pinned comment. You could come up and you could embarrass me in front of all these people. You could embarrass me. There's also a lot of people watching on Twitter, so you could come and show how Zionists are idiots. Guys, by the way, for the people who are watching us on X, come to Atheist Republic on YouTube. We're live there. If you want to come up and debate me live, this is your chance. You could embarrass me in front of everybody. Oh my god. So we got another super chat saying, did Muhammad not have children because he messed up their tiny wombs? Well, only one of his wives were that tiny, which was Aisha. The rest of them weren't that tiny. But he did have a child. His name was Ibrahim, and he died. Ibrahim died in. I mean, Muhammad had sorry. He had daughters, but he had only one son, Ibrahim, who died. But obviously, Fatima. You forgot about Fatima. Fatima is his daughter. I think you mean sons. He didn't have any sons. The whole story is a myth, anyways. Oh, somebody's saying I hate Zionist Jews. What about Zionist non-Jews? Because I am a Zionist. Does that count? If you hate me, you could come and talk to me. I'm a Zionist, but I'm not a Jew. Look, guys, see how much they are in the chat. They all are like hating on Israel, but none of them come up. They're cowards. Oh, somebody showed up. Oh, it's Sohail. Sohail, what are you doing here? Hi, Sohail. Oh, Sohail. Okay. Did you want to say anything? You could write it. If you want me to bring you up talking, I could put it in the right in the private chat. Are you just here to highlight comments? Okay, he left. Let me see. Crypto Fanatic is saying the Islam. Thank you so much for the super chat, Crypto Fanatic. Crypto Fanatic is saying the Islamic Republic and Hamas are both brainwashing in the same way their populations. Well, the Islamic Republic is not very good at brainwashing anymore. Like the Iranian people are not buying their propaganda. So then Crypto Fanatic is saying, why is Hamas so successful that you consider Gaza so radical that they are too far gone, but Iranians are so anti-Islamic? Well, first of all, I don't want to generalize. I'm talking about the average of the population. Obviously, within Gaza, we have people. By the way, when I say too far gone, it doesn't mean that we don't care about them. I still want the best for all groups of people, even people who have been brainwashed. I don't want them to suffer. When I say they're too far gone, I mean many of them is too hard to de-radicalize, right? So the reason why the Iranian people the Islamic Republic has not been as successful with radicalizing Iranian people compared to people like in Gaza or even in Afghanistan is because the Iranian people went through a period of modernization and liberalization. Is that a word? And they seen better way of living under Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah. So for the Iranian people is basically an attempt to make them forget that way of living, those superior values, that level of progress. It's really hard to go backwards once people experience modernization and the superiority of liberal values. That's the reason why it's very difficult to do that in Iran, because Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah showed the Iranian people that there was a better way. Oh, Sohail, you were just checking if the link works. Thank you so much. So yeah, it works. Guys, Sohail just came up just to check if the link works. So now we can confirm that all the anti-Israelis in the chat are just cowards. It's not because of the link doesn't work, because Sohail just used the link to come and check. Thank you for checking that. And then we got another super chat from Elad. Elad saying, hard to argue with Middle Eastern Zionists. Yes. Yes, because that's why they don't show up. They don't come up. because it's difficult to defeat us. And then Delta with another super chat saying the haters rely on logical fallacies. Embarrassing. Yes. And again, that's why they don't show up. They don't come up because they know that they don't have anything. Guys, if you're so confident that Israel is evil, you must be able to come up and talk to me. Oh, here somebody's saying Armin. Who's Armin? My name is Armin. Saying Armin saying he doesn't want people to suffer is rich, considering he's fully endorsing the Gaza genocide. When did I endorse the Gaza? Yeah, the genocide in Gaza is happening because of Hamas is genociding the people in Gaza, and I do not endorse it. When did I endorse the genocide of the people in Gaza? When did I do that? I've never done that. In fact, I celebrate the IDF because the IDF, one of my main reasons why I celebrate the IDF is because the IDF has gone far and above any other army to try to reduce civilian casualties. So how is that an endorsement of genocide? Guys, it's easy to just smash anti-Israeli nonsense. It's so easy. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much. Unusual. Wow, that's very generous, Unusual AI. Thank you. Unusual AI saying Israeli high-tech defense company Elbit Systems, is that, did I pronounce it right? Stocks system stocks dividend. I share it with you. Oh, this is the dividend that you get from that owning that stock. Okay, I share it with you. Thanks for your great work, Javid Shah, Amazrael Chai. Wow. Okay, so this is the dividend that you got from a stock in a high-tech Israeli company. Thank you so much, and Javid Shah to you as well, and Amazrael Chai to you as well. That's very sweet. Thank you so much for that. That's very sweet. Thank you. All right, let's go. Some Iranian person, Muhammad in the chat saying Israel Eshke, which is Muhammad is an Iranian saying in the chat saying Iran is love and Israel is love. Thank you, Muhammad, for being here, guys. Doesn't that burn the anti-Israeli people? Doesn't that make them just die in their own rage when somebody named Muhammad here is saying Israel is love? Oh, we got two people here. Guys, the people who are up, it says device is not connected. Your microphones are not connected. You need to connect your microphone so I could bring you up. So I see John here, and I also see Centine. Oh, there you go, John. John's microphone is connected. Hi, John.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey. What's on your mind?
So what were you saying about Iran, bro, you stupid fuck?
What am I saying about Iran?
Yeah, what are we talking about? The president, the dictator who got kicked, who was sent by America, bro? The Shah?
I don't know what you're talking about. We're talking
You
about Israel. You want to talk
saying
about
the
Iran?
Shah, Muhammad Reza
Yeah,
Pahlavi.
Yeah, the Shah was not a
What
president. The Shah was not a president.
He was a dictator.
He's not what? Okay, but you refer to him as a president. He wasn't a president.
He's a fucking dictator, bro. He was running the country, and he was ousted by the people. And then Muhammad Khomeini came over.
Muhammad Khomeini came. Okay, so what's your point?
So what were you saying earlier, bro?
I'm saying Muhammad Reza Shah, modernized the country. He improved the economy. He built so many schools. He built so many universities. He increased women's rights. You call him a dictator, but he gave women the right to vote, which in Iran, women were given the right to vote ahead of some European countries, ahead of so many European countries. And both Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah, they were moving closer and closer to a democracy. They were more, you cannot, like, before the Pahlavi dynasty, Iran was under the Qajar dynasty, and the situation was very, very difficult during the Qajar dynasty, and the country was collapsing. But Reza Shah, when he came, obviously under his rule, the country was not as democratic as what the standards are right now. But at that time, Reza Shah's focus was to try to stabilize the country to try to keep the country intact and build the infrastructure. And during Muhammad Reza Shah, he tried to make the country more democratic. He got shot for it. There was a coup
He
against
was
him
not shot
because of
for it,
it.
but it was the
But
people who came over and fucking outside him because they were not happy with the fucking what he was
no,
doing to the economy because he was making his family rich and the people poor. You stupid retard. Just
no,
because you know how to fucking talk does not make it correct, bro.
you know. Well, I mean, you
Anyone,
don't. I'm
anyone,
talking
anyone,
to you.
everyone in the freaking YouTube, bro, go search it up. What happened to Muhammad Reza
Okay.
Shah, bro? You will see. He got ousted by their own people because people do not
You
want
want me
him
to?
as a freaking Shah because he was a dictator,
You
killing
want me to
people
check with
and
ChatGPT?
forcing them what to do. I don't give a fuck about ChatGPT here, bro. Let's try to on ChatGPT. Go for it.
Okay, let me check. Okay.
Go for it, bro.
Um.
He was
So
ousted by
first
the
of all,
people because the people
the
do not want
revolution.
him
First
to
of all,
rule.
you say that Muhammad Reza Shah was not shot. Okay, he was shot, and he forgave the person who shot him. Okay,
How did he
was
forgive if he's
was
fucking
Muhammad?
dead, bro? What the
No,
fuck?
shot doesn't mean killed. You are John. Are you stupid? Shot doesn't mean killed. You could get shot and survive.
Like you said, like that, then, bro.
What do you mean? You assume that when somebody's shot, he was shot. So
Here, wait
see,
a
you
second.
call
Wait a
me. You keep
second. Let me
you
fact
keep
check you, bro.
you keep calling me an idiot, but you don't know
Okay,
the
okay.
difference
Here, bro. Wait,
between.
wait, wait, wait. Let me fact check you, bro.
Yeah, I could fact check with you.
Yeah, I'm
Was
gonna fact check.
Muhammad
I'm
Reza
not
Shah
gonna fucking
shot?
believe whatever the fuck you say, bro.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, I'm not a
I'm
retard
talking to
like
you
most people in the
respectfully.
fucking
Here,
chat, bro.
look, you call me retarded, but you said that Muhammad Reza Shah wasn't shot. I just
Here,
checked.
bro. Here,
Yes, Muhammad Reza Shah.
here. Was Muhammad Reza Shah shot, and why was he shot?
Okay, what do you get? I get yes.
Wait a second, bro. Just half the story does not make the full story correct, man.
Well, yeah, I didn't. I said Muhammad Reza Shah was shot. You said he wasn't. I'm right, and you're wrong. If you want the more context, I have the context. I know
Here,
the
I got
history.
it,
I know
bro.
the context.
The attacker, Fidian Islam member
So
Nassar Fakrei, was part of an anti-Islamist militant group opposed to
yeah, he was a communist.
Shah's pro-Western policies. Here,
So I
bro.
was
The
right.
attacker was Fidian Islam member Nassar
Okay, John. So I
Fakrei,
was right.
was an
So I was right.
anti-Islamist. He was an
John.
anti-Islamist militant group
I know.
opposed to the
I know. They're
Shah's pro-Western policies, secular
John.
reforms, and
John.
ties
If you
to
don't,
foreign
if you
powers.
okay, I'm gonna. If you don't let me
Okay.
speak,
Okay, go for it. Speak, bro.
Do you agree that I was right and you were wrong because I said the
About
Shah was
what?
shot?
Just because I'm fact checking you, bro. He was shot.
Yeah,
Yes.
but you said, but you
That
call me,
says
you call me a retard. I said the Shah was shot. You said no, he wasn't. You retard.
yeah, because I
So
didn't knew
based
it,
on
bro. I
your
just
own
checked
measurement,
it. I didn't fucking knew it.
based on
I'm not
based
Einstein,
on
bro.
your own standard, based on your own standard, aren't you a retard now?
I'm
Because
not
I
a
was right
retard, but
and you
I'm
were wrong.
fact checking you, bro. I was not. I
No,
was not
you
sure about it.
before. No,
I
I
know that he
made
was
you. I
ousted by the
made you,
people.
John. I made you fact check.
Yeah, I'm fact
You
checking.
assume. Yes. You before fact checking, you said I'm a retard and I'm wrong, and then I forced you to fact check, and
You
now
didn't
you
force me,
realize
bro.
that
I
you're
just
the
force checked
retard,
you.
and then you realize that you're the
You didn't
retard,
fucking force me
and then you
to fact
realize
check you,
that
bro. I
you're
just
the
fact checked you
retard, and
because
then you realize
I
that
was not sure
you're the
about it.
retard, and I was correct,
Okay.
and you're the retard.
Okay,
Okay,
let's
let's move
go
on to
here,
the
bro.
next point.
Let's go here. Talk. Wait a second. Why was Muhammad Reza Shah ousted?
I already know the answer to that.
Okay, why was he ousted, bro?
Because Islamic forces and leftists united and created a force against him to do a revolution. But do you have any reason to suggest that the revolution was justified? Because every single, I'm right.
Here, bro.
I'll
Before you
promise
say
you. If you
anything, bro.
let me
Before you
let
say
me let
anything,
me
okay?
let me finish my
Okay.
point. Hey, John.
Okay.
Shut
go,
up.
bro.
Let me finish my point.
Go, bro. Go.
Before you make a fool out of yourself, I could
Okay, go
show
for it, bro.
you that during the time of Muhammad Reza Shah, everything was improving. everything.
Here, bro.
The
Okay.
economy was
Okay.
improving. Let me finish my point.
Okay. Go for it,
The
bro. Go.
economy was improving. The
Okay.
economy was improving. Education
Okay.
was improving.
Okay.
Technology was improving. Industry was
Okay.
improving. Culture was improving. Women's rights were improving. Everything was improving. And the Marxist leftists, the same people that you call anti-Islam, yes, at that point when they shot Muhammad Reza Shah, they were anti-Islamic. But then eventually, when they realized that the communists, when they realized that they cannot do this by themselves, they united with Islamic forces to try to bring the Shah down. And the Marxists, the reason why they did this revolution is not because the Shah was doing anything wrong. It was mostly because they had a revolutionary fetish. Marxists love the idea of revolution, and the whole world was under a revolution. The Marxist world, the communist world at that time was under a revolutionary fever, and these people wanted to experience being revolutionaries, but they were so pathetically weak, so they couldn't do this by themselves. So they joined with the Islamists. The Marxists were trying to spread their ideas in universities, and they got the Muslims to spread their ideas in the mosques, and they worked with each other. And even though they weren't the majority, they managed to get enough people in the streets for Mohammad Reza Shah to decide that he will leave Iran, not because he couldn't hold on to the country, he could have, but he decided that he doesn't want to remain the king by killing people.
Okay,
So
bro. Here.
Muhammad
Okay.
Reza Shah could have
Okay.
Muhammad
I
Reza
let
Shah
you
could have
talk, bro.
easily
I let you talk.
Muhammad no let, one
I
last
just let
sentence
you
one last
talk,
thing
bro. I just
Muhammad
let you talk and do your
one
bullshit
last
thing, bro.
sentence
Here. Okay,
one
go
last
for it, bro.
sentence
Go for it.
Muhammad Reza Shah could have easily held on to the country if he just started shooting the people, but he didn't want to have
Yeah,
blood on his
there you
hands, so
go.
that's
That's
why
the
he let it
fucking
happen.
thing you like, bro. Shooting people. Here. Let me talk, man. Now it's my
I
turn,
just said
okay?
the opposite.
Okay, let me talk now. Let me talk now, bro. Now you literally said it's good for him to fucking
Okay.
shot people and live and stay in his power, bro. Here.
I didn't say
You
that.
literally
That's
said
not
that,
what
bro.
I said.
Okay, here, calm down. Let me fucking
I
talk.
said he could have shoot people, but he didn't because he didn't want to have
He
blood
did
on
shot
his hand.
people. Here, wait a sec. Let me talk now, bro. I let you fucking say
Not
whatever the fuck you wanted, bro. Let me talk now. Okay.
not to the level that.
Okay, here, bro. Let me talk now, please. Let me talk, bro, please. Okay.
Okay.
The Shah increasingly considered power in his hand, especially after the 1953 CIA and M16 backed up coup that restored him to power and removed the Prime Minister Muhammad Musaddiq. Political opposition was crushed, parliament was weakened, and secret police SAVAK brutally suppressed dissent. He fucking, what do you call, brutally suppressed whatever the people wanted, bro. Here, next. Through his White Revolution 1963, he pushed land reform, expanded women's rights, go for it, that's good for you, and promoted rapid modernization. Okay. While progressive to some, many religious leaders like Ayatollah Khomeini saw this reform as anti-Islamic because the country is a Muslim country. Corruption and elitism. The Shah's court and inner circles lived in extreme luxury, highlighted by events like 1971 Persepolis celebration costing tens of millions of dollars, while much of the population remained poor. Widespread corruption deepened resentment, making me fucking rich while the other people suffer. Economic problems. Despite massive oil wealth, rapid modernization caused inflation, unemployment, and rural displacement. Rising inequality fueled anger among workers, students, and the poor. The Shah was seen as a puppet of the West, especially the US. His close ties with Washington, military aid, arms deal, oil agreements made many Iranians resent him. His recognition of Israel further angered the Islamic groups. Religious opposition of and Khomeini leaders, Ayatollah Khomeini, exiled in 1964, became the spiritual and ideological leader of the opposition. His message, smuggled into Iran and taps, called for overthrowing the Shah and the establishment Islamic government. Mass protests in 1978 to 1979, starting in early 1978, protests escalated, fueled by killing of demonstrators by security forces. which is the Shah, killed people because they were protesting. Strike paralyzed the economy and millions protest across Iran. By January 1979, the Shah left Iran for medical treatment and never returned. In February 1979, Khomeini returned from exile, and the monarchy collapsed. There you go, bro.
Okay.
He was a monarchy. He was a monarch. He was a monarch. He was a dictator. He did made the country modernized, but instead of making people rich, he made himself rich and his people, whoever was with him. And when people protested against him, he started killing them, which raised anger amongst people. And then they came and ousted him out of the country. But he was sick. Like all the fucking rich people just goes like, the corrupt motherfuckers, when they get like ousted almost, they're like, I'm sick, and they just leave. Just like Pakistan, bro. What's his name?
Okay, let's not go to Pakistan. Can we say it up?
Yeah.
Let's stay on topic.
Go for
Can I respond now?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
First of all, you mentioned Khomeini and him being upset about the fact that
he was not upset, bro. He was exiled in 1964.
Can I talk now? It's my John.
Yeah, I
didn't interrupt you.
I
didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you.
Okay, go for it, bro.
So you mentioned Khomeini's opposition to Mohammad Reza Shah, him saying that Mohammad Reza Shah was anti-Islamic. Okay.
No, he was not anti-Islamic, bro. He was a Western puppet.
Let me, John. You said many things that I didn't accept, and I didn't interrupt.
Okay, go for it, bro.
Okay. Using Khomeini as a way to suggest that Mohammad Reza Shah was Western puppet. Khomeini is the same person that in his book suggests that you could have sex with infants.
Yeah. Which book is that, bro? Which book is that?
You don't know this about Khomeini?
No,
holy shit. Okay,
tell me the book, bro. Tell me the book. Tell me the book, please. Tell me the book, please.
Yeah. I'll get it.
Please
for you.
Tell me the book. I would love to read that book.
Name me the book where Khomeini talks about.
Okay, you don't know the book now. You're
seeing children as old as infants, improper sexual behavior with them. I will look this up and I will tell you. But let me go through all of my points.
If you don't know the book, bro, why did you make a claim, bro?
The book's name is in fucking Arabic, you piece of shit. I speak Persian. Khomeini speaks Arabic. He names his book in Arabic.
You're from Iran.
It's here.
You are from Iran, bro.
Yeah, I'm Iran.
You're anti-Iran. That's crazy, man.
John, shut the fuck up. Let me make my point.
Okay, go for it.
His book is Tahrir al-Wasila.
Okay.
And he
can you spell it?
But
can you spell it?
Shut the fuck up, John. I have a lot of points to make.
You stupid retard. Let me fucking
I'm not gonna. You're gonna fact check me after I finish my point.
I'm not a retard of your freaking gonna just listen to you saying your bullshit.
I'm gonna make my points. All right, fuck you. All right, let me make my points because he's not gonna let me finish. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you down there, and once I finish my points, I'll bring you back up. Okay, because you're not letting me make any points. Khomeini, in his book, he suggests that with girls, not 9. So Muhammad says 9, but Khomeini is somebody who says that you could actually go under 9 as long as you don't have intercourse, as long as you just use their thighs, and you could go as young as infants, not just 9-year-olds. That's what Khomeini says in his books. So if Khomeini is anti-Mohammad Reza Shah for being anti-Western, that's actually good. That shows that Mohammad Reza Shah, because Khomeini was anti-women, Khomeini and his people were against Mohammad Reza Shah because he was trying to give women the right to vote. That was their main reason why they were against Mohammad Reza Shah, because they thought that was anti-Islamic. So the fact that you're using Khomeini as a way to discredit Mohammad Reza Shah, that actually is a point for Mohammad Reza Shah. It's not a point against Mohammad Reza Shah. And then John, if I bring you back up, would you shut up until I make my points, or write down in the private chat? Yeah, Bob, I see you. Bob is also waiting to talk to me. Okay, I'll bring you back up, but let me finish my point. Okay, if you interrupt me because you said a lot of things, I'll let you stay here, but let me finish my points. Okay. So regarding Mossadegh was the prime minister chosen by the parliament, not by the direct vote of the Iranian people. Okay, and he dismantled or annulled. He dismantled the parliament, and under the constitution of the Iran at that time, that would given the Shah the constitutional right to remove the prime minister. So when Muhammad Reza Shah tried to remove Mossadegh, that was not a coup. A coup is something that is illegal, and it's also something that is done from the bottom up. The
Okay,
Shah in Iran. Hey, no, you
Okay, bro.
interrupted me.
You talk.
Okay, I put you down because you're interrupted me. Guys, I'm being fair here. Okay, I didn't interrupt him. He's interrupting me, so I put him down because he's not letting me finish. So Mossadegh was removed by Muhammad Reza Shah under the constitutional right that he had as the Shah. So he didn't do the coup. Mossadegh was doing the coup. The Shah wasn't doing a coup. How could you do the coup when you're the higher? A coup happens from the bottom up. It doesn't happen from the top down. Mossadegh was the one who was trying to do the coup by refusing to accept the order of the Shah, putting him aside when he had the legal right to do so. And then you said that people would remain poor, and he made himself rich, and he made other people poor, and he was stealing their money. That's fucking bullshit. Let me read this from you, okay? Oh, and also he said that he used force against the people, and he killed a lot of people during the protest. He was basically his forces were attacking the terrorists that were trying to topple the regime. He wasn't doing it. He was actually very, very soft on people because he didn't want to have blood on his hands. Okay. So it's true that during one of the protests, Shah's military and security forces ended up killing a whole bunch of people. And that, however, compared to the other authoritarian regimes at the time, the Shah was very hesitant to unleash unlimited force. And when he saw that there's bloodshed happening for him remaining in power, when he saw that when he's fighting against the people who are trying to topple the regime, when he saw that the Iranian people are dying, he decided not to continue. He said that I don't want to. He told the Iranian people that if I have to stay in power by killing Iranians, I'd rather not stay in power. And that's another reason why he left. His own words. He said in his own words. These are his exact words. Kill my people. I do not want to kill my people in order to stay on the throne. That's what he exactly said, right? So, yeah, true. There are other reasons that he left because of his health issues, but he also always signaled to people that if the Iranian people don't want him, he will just leave. And he did that. Regards to the economy, you said that Iranian people were poor and a lot of people were rich and a lot of Iranian people were poor. What you need to actually do when you're analyzing this is you have to compare it to what came before, because the poor were getting richer. Yes, the divide between poor and rich was high, and I accept that the divide between rich and poor was getting higher because the economy was growing very fast. It wasn't the rich and poor. The divide between rich and poor was increasing not because the poor were getting poorer. The poor were getting richer and the rich were getting richer too. But usually when an economy grows really fast, the rich get rich faster. And that's why the divide increases. So, but the poor were also getting richer. Again, many people were poor, but compared to the Qajar dynasty that came before the Pahlavi, the situation was improving significantly. So here's the number. I have this. Iran's economy grew very significantly during Mohammad Reza Shah's reign. So Iran became one of the fastest growing economies in the world during the 1960s and the 70s. GDP growth averaged 9 to 11% annually. The 1960s, sometimes even higher in the early 1970s. Iran had the largest economy in the Middle East. So many people, even the poor people, were benefiting from this, especially because Mohammad Reza Shah was very eager to try to include a lot of people. And a lot of people are like, oh, so many people were poor. Yeah, because it's very interesting, because when they came into power, people were poor already. What is he supposed to do? Just snap his finger and make the poor people rich? The situation was getting better for people. He cannot just come and do magic. So he did Mohammad Reza Shah did the White Revolution in 1963, which included land reform, expansion of education. Mohammad Reza Shah believed that if you want to bring people out of poverty, the most important thing you could do for them is educate them. And that's why he was building schools everywhere, to bring people out of poverty. And women's suffrage, he gave women the right to vote, and industrial development. Things were getting better for everybody. Yes, people were poor, but they were getting better. They were getting rich really fast. If he was still in power, many of those poor people wouldn't be poor anymore. Urbanization skyrocketed. Millions moved from villages to cities for jobs. Infrastructure expanded. Highway, railroads, power plants, and universities grew rapidly. And Mohammad Reza Shah was constantly challenging Savak, which was his intelligence unit at that time, his security, to try to be less hostile towards people. Mohammad Reza Shah ended physical torture during his time in Iran when he was in power. He tried to make sure that, I mean, sometimes maybe there were some people that were being beaten up when he couldn't monitor everybody, but he was desperate to try to end physical torture in Iran, to end that for good. So yes, things were not ideal 100%, but they were moving in the right direction really, really fast, and Iran was growing and it was becoming more free, more prosperous, less hostile. And also Reza Shah, Mohammad Reza Shah, it's very interesting that people criticize them for being dictatorial, given that they lived at the time that in the world we had Hitler, we had Stalin, we had Pinochet, we had so many evil people around the world at that time. So Europe, like the dictators in Europe, Mussolini and Hitler during the Pahlavi dynasty were so much more evil. I mean, if you judge the Pahlavi dynasty based on the standards of that time, they were so good to their people, and they were really genuinely love their people, and they were doing their best to rise their people up and make them more free and more prosperous. Anyways, let me bring John back. John, go on. Your turn.
Okay, bro. I listened to all your bullshit there, bro. Okay. Let me fact check you again, buddy, here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, bro. Let me fact check your ass real quick. Everyone in the freaking chat, go fact check. Don't listen to every fucking bullshit people on the internet, bro. Okay.
Why are you so rude? I was friendly.
I'm not
with you.
rude, bro. I'm just saying them. I'm just telling them what to do, bro.
You are very rude. Like I am actually
rude, bro?
respected.
Just because
you.
I'm telling them to fact check you is that rude? Really?
No, not now. Like right at the beginning, you kept on saying like you fuck, you're retard. Like I came here.
Okay,
I
sir,
was
bro. Here, okay,
nicely.
my mistake, bro. My mistake. Okay, here, let me talk. Okay, bro. Okay, you said that a parliamentary is not voted in. That's crazy, bro. Okay, a parliament
That's not
is
what I
a
said.
people who has been elected by the people, and Musaddiq was a parliamentarian. Okay, he was part of the parliament. He was a prime minister, which means he's been voted by the people to come into the parliament, bro. Okay, and he was overthrown by Shah in 19, where did the number go, bro? 19 whatever 53, something like that. Yeah, he was overthrown. Okay, here from 1953 Musaddiq overthrown to 1979 Shah's fall. Okay, from 1953 to 1979 Shah built only 34,000 schools. Okay, no, 44,000 schools, sorry, 44,000 schools and 20 universities. Guess how many built after him, bro? Tell me the number, bro. 132,000.
You missed
schools were built after him. Okay.
Okay. This is called you want me to
25
this is called
years,
this is called historism.
You literally just speak for like
No,
20
you
minutes,
asked me a
bro.
question. You asked me
Okay,
a question, so let me answer.
Okay, go.
First of all, the parliament, I didn't say the parliament is not chosen by the people. I said
You
the
said
prime
it,
minister
bro.
is
You
not
said
directly.
it. The second you muted me,
No,
you
you
said
didn't
that,
listen.
bro.
You didn't listen. You didn't listen. You again. You call me a retard, but you don't even listen to what I'm saying.
Go for it. Okay,
I said
go.
he wasn't directly voted by the people. Do you know how a
is he
prime
not
minister
directly
is voted?
voted by the people, bro? A prime minister
No, a president
is voted by the parliamentarian, bro.
Okay.
Who is voted by the
President
people.
is directly voted by the people, not a prime minister.
I know, man, but the people who vote for the prime minister is voted by the people. A parliamentarian is voted by the people.
So that's why I use the word directly.
People,
so that's why okay. So you see, so I was right then, because I used the word
directly. You're not right, bro. You're
I
wrong. A minister is voted by the people.
You just
It makes the
no.
minister voted.
He's not direct. I said he's not directly. I said he wasn't directly voted by the people. Did you hear the
He
word
is
directly?
still voted by the people. He has to become a minister.
Okay, but
for him to
not
become a prime
direct. Okay,
minister.
see. So now you see that I was right because it wasn't directly.
What part is
I didn't
that right,
say.
boy? For him to become a minister, he has to be voted by the people.
A person.
Yeah,
but you see how I was correct, and you just didn't
that does not make
said?
you fucking correct. That's the same thing in the UK, bro. A prime minister has to become a minister by the people first, and then the ministers comes together and chooses a person from their
No. He was just
from
a
their
member.
group and make them a prime minister. You can
That's not
search
what
up on the
That's not
internet,
what
bro.
happened.
Whoever want to fucking
That's
search
not what
it,
happened.
bro.
That's not what happened.
That's
That's
literally
not
what
what
prime
happened.
minister
That's not
comes
what happened.
from,
He
bro.
was never. Mossadegh was not directly voted by the people to become prime minister, and my word was correct, and you just didn't understand what I'm saying.
Bro,
and you look like a fool now.
A prime minister is elected by the ministers. A minister is
I said he's not directed.
He becomes a prime minister when all the people comes together to make him a prime minister.
Nope.
That's literally the whole fucking thing, bro. That's how a parliament comes together. You can go to. That's the same thing in UK, bro. A UK prime minister is voted by the ministers when they're voted by the people. It's literally the same thing in here as well. In United States, a president.
Let me read this to you. Let me read this to you.
All his people gets voted by the people.
No, let me read this to you.
He gets a majority and he becomes a president.
Let me read. I asked ChatGPT. Okay, was Mossadegh directly voted by the people? It said ChatGPT respond. Good question. The short answer is no. Mohammad Mossadegh was not directly elected by the people as prime minister. In Iran's constitutional system established by the 1906 constitution, the Majlis parliament elected members, and the Shah appointed the prime minister. The Shah appointed the prime minister. Mossadegh was elected member of the parliament Majlis for decades and had a strong personal base in the Majlis. In April 1951, after public pressure and parliamentary votes, the Majlis nominated Mossadegh to be prime minister. So no, he wasn't directly voted by the people.
So the people voted for the minister.
But my point, my statement, my statement was correct.
How is that
you
correct?
Said I was wrong.
It's just a retard thing, bro.
Dude,
the people vote for a
fucking
minister.
Moron. I just read it to you.
Bro.
I just read it to you. He wasn't.
Yeah, you read it to me. I learned it. I read it. I got it.
So I was right. I was right, and you were wrong. I was right, and you were wrong.
You said the ministers were voted
because
by the people.
I said
voted for the minister.
I said he was not, John. I said he was not directly voted by the people. You said I'm wrong. You see, I was correct.
That does not make you correct, bro. You're
okay. You're a fucking moron. I don't know what to do with you. Like, guys, this is the third time I'm showing him that he's wrong, and he just doesn't get it. He's just fucking idiot. Let's just go to the next person. This guy was such a fool. Like, guys, this was the third time he said you're an idiot, you're a moron, you're retarded, and I showed him exactly why he's wrong. And like, how does that make you? Like, I said the prime minister is not directly voted by the people, and I show him, and he said you're wrong, and I show him the evidence, and it was like, how does that make you wrong? Like, why? How does that make you right? Like, how could you not see that makes me right? It just says it in plain English. It's interesting how he calls me a retard. He doesn't even understand it. Let me actually bring in Bob. Bob, hi, Bob.
Hey, man, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. What's up?
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so just a couple of things, man. I actually live in Australia. I'm Iranian myself, and I've grown up here, right? But my family, as well as my relatives that live here, most of them had to flee Iran. A lot of them were political prisoners. These are stories that you're also familiar with, I'm assuming. A lot of this is going on in Iran after 79. I was in bed, man, because it's 5 a.m. here right now. I was in bed. I was just going through YouTube. I had my partner sleeping next to me, and I had my earbuds in. I was listening to I came across your YouTube channel, and I listened to you debate this absolute fucking monkey, bro, which is most likely a propagandist for the Islamic Republic. Bro, he doesn't even sound Iranian. Where is he even from? Like, he doesn't even...
I don't think he's Iranian.
Yeah, he doesn't even sound Iranian, bro. Like, what are you doing sitting here debating our concerns, bro? Get the fuck out of here. Jesus Christ, bro. Anyway, I just had to get that out of my system.
Okay.
Bro, a lot of these people that you see on the internet, they're in the regime's pocket, bro. That, like, a lot of these people are being paid. A lot of them are bots. This guy clearly wasn't a bot, but he was less intelligent than a fucking bot, bro. Jesus Christ. So I've got some points I want to talk about. The very first thing, right? Based off what John just spoke about, this is for your viewers, and I hope more people tune in right now and listen to what I have to say. So, obviously, we go back to World War One. World War One ended over the next decade or so. Reza Shah, which was Mohammad Reza Shah's father, seized power. Obviously, modernized the country through a wealth of methods. This is no secret, guys. You can go up on the internet and look this up yourself, okay? You got all these fucking Islamist idiots on the internet debating that the Islamic Republic is great for the country and it's great for Palestine. Before I start saying what I'm going to say, guys, I just want to let you know that us wanting the Islamic government out has nothing to do with Zionism. It has nothing to do with supporting anything else in any other country. We're merely trying to free ourselves from the 40 plus years of tyranny that we've been under. It has nothing to do with Israel and Palestine. At the moment, I know it's sad. There's children dying there. It's horrible, but we have our own fish to fry. We have our own problems. We have millions and millions of Iranians living abroad because they've fled the country due to this bullshit that's been happening for over the last few decades. Nothing to do with Israel, guys. Nothing to do with Palestine. So this is the argument a lot of these people tend to use, a lot of these Islamists tend to use when you say you don't want the government there anymore. And they go to Israel and Palestine. They're like, oh, well, that makes you a Zionist. You know, you don't want the Islamic Republic in power. They're the ones that are helping the Palestinian people through methods of, you know, proxy and so on with Hamas and all that. But guys, the thing with the Israel-Palestine conflict you have to understand is if you land on one side of the fence or the other, propaganda has worked on you. If you side with Israel, their propaganda has worked on you. If you side with Hamas, their propaganda has worked on you. You cannot land on a side. Go on, bro.
I mean, I'm on Israel's side, and I think Israel has something to do with us Iranian people because Israel has attacked our enemy, which is the Islamic Republic, and we share a lot of common values with Israel.
Yeah, no, we do for sure. But look, I understand that, bro, and I get that, you know, weakening the country and hitting, you know, some of the military bases and infrastructure and all that sort of stuff. I've got Persian friends here that were completely for that. They were very happy when that happened. I, on the other hand, am kind of on the fence because I do want the regime gone. I think they're disgusting people. They've been draining the country of its life. But the problem is taking out our, you know, means of defense, and a lot of research that we've been doing does kind of also, it's a double-edged sword, bro. It does kind of attack our sovereignty as well.
No, it doesn't.
And it kind of it does weaken us in the region, bro. It does. I mean, they've completely defanged our Air Force. You know, anyone can pretty much fly over now.
That's not our. That is not. First of all, that Air Force. What Air Force? Those are the so-called Air Force that the Islamic Republic has.
Yeah, 100%. I understand.
Really old planes. No, let me tell you. Let me correct you. Okay. First of all, even if they had an Air Force, that's not our Air Force. That's the Islamic Republic's Air Force. Okay, Iran is separate from the Islamic Republic, and all of those military equipments are being used to keep the enemies of the Iranian people in power, which is the Islamic Republic. If you want if you want Iran to have a strong military, and if you want our sovereignty to be protected, then Iran needs a strong economy, and Iran will never have a strong, because, you know, your tanks being blown, your airplanes being blown, that is much less relevant to your military power compared to actually having a strong underlying economy where you could actually build these things and modernize it yourself. And with the Islamic Republic, the country has been bankrupt, and the entire military apparatus of the country is being used to go and basically fuck around and beyond Iran's borders and spread the Islamic ideologies in the Middle East and elsewhere. So these are not our weaponry. These are not our forces. These are Islamic forces, and they are being used to attack people around the region and the Iranian people. And the more Israel takes them out, they're not attacking Iran. They're attacking the Islamic Republic. If you want Iran to have a strong military one day, The most important thing we need to do is to hit Islamic Republic from all sides, from inside and from outside, the Iranian people and Israelis. And when we have finally a secular democracy, then we will have trade with the rest of the world. We will see investments coming in, and we will be investing everywhere else, and we will build a strong economy that you could buy and build a strong military with it. You don't build a strong military by just keeping the planes that you already have. You build a strong military by having a strong economy. A strong economy gives you a strong military. And you can't have a strong economy with the Islamic Republic.
I definitely understand that point of view. But bro, this is it. This is where sort of people start drawing their own lines, and different sort of Iranians with different beliefs kind of come out and say, this should be happening, but no, that should be happening. And when the regime goes, this should happen. Which I respect. Everybody has their own opinion and this, that, and the other. With, just to play the devil's advocate with what you just said, dare I say, not everyone in the Iranian military is pro-regime. I feel like some of those people are just basically doing their jobs. I wouldn't say 100% of the military is completely devout to them. And I would dare say over the next 5 or 10 years, or however long it's going to take, there will be some form of mutiny in order to get a revolution going. And defanging a lot of these sort of bases and a lot of the things around the country would leave us susceptible to greater powers in the region taking advantage of, if the country goes into turmoil, right? I was actually watching Piers Morgan the other day.
No. Let me respond to that. Okay. First of all, the way we have two armies in Iran right now, right? One of them is IRGC and the other one is Artesh, right?
Yeah.
The IRGC is the more ideological one and more loyal to the Islamic Republic, and the Artesh is a mixed bag, right? And it's very interesting. The Artesh is the people, the armed forces that might actually be happy if the Islamic Republic falls are more likely in the Artesh than IRGC. And interestingly, during the 12-day war, Israel didn't touch the Artesh. Maybe like none of the commanders of Artesh. I think Israel was signaling to the Artesh that, you guys, this is your moment if you want to do a coup or something. Like Israel only went for the heads of IRGC, and not a single people from the head of the Artesh were targeted, right? Even though the Artesh has recently become more ideological than before, right? Also, if you are worried about, and also when Israel went into Iran during the 12-day war, they targeted the things that the Islamic Republic uses to attack Israel and other countries in the region, right? It didn't go. So if you're worried about the border integrity of Iran, then you should be supporting Israel against the Islamic Republic, because the Islamic Republic has completely depleted its forces around its borders and used them to try to more attacks on Israel. So, for example, our eastern border, because the Islamic Republic is focusing so much on expanding its empire to the west, our eastern borders are defenseless, right? And if you're worried about the border integrity and the sovereignty of the country, then you should be in a rush to get rid of the Islamic Republic so that we could actually bring an army that defends our borders. And the faster Israel hits the Islamic Republic, the sooner we could get to the point where we actually use our forces to protect our borders rather than attacking Israel.
Yeah, definitely. But the point that you've made, okay, just quickly, I want to clear something up, guys, because one or two of your comments said, don't watch Piers Morgan and stuff. I literally just made that reference because of one of the guests he put on his show. I personally don't like Piers Morgan. I think he's full of shit. He flips the narrative all the time to suit himself. But he had a particular guest on his show. His name was Scott Horton. And Scott himself, I don't agree with a lot of the things that he said, but he said one thing once that really, really resonated with me. And he said that you guys are shouting for regime change and you just have no idea what's going to happen next because you have all these different ethnic groups in Iran waiting to take power. I've seen this firsthand, man. Just here in Australia, the town that I live in, there's multiple different Iranian parties. There's a socialist party. There's a bunch of different parties that have their own sort of meetings every couple of weeks. And just here in the town that I live in, bro, can you imagine the amount of different parties that will form in Iran after a revolution? We need something that's going to give us stability when these guys end up leaving.
Well,
now, just quickly, man, look, we can debate what we're debating now until the cows come home, right? Because I feel like everyone has their own opinion on Israel and Palestine and all that, or this, that, and the other. But one thing I will say is the point you're making, I understand, but they heavily rely on Bibi telling the truth. Netanyahu, to be honest, man, has time and time again shown to be a liar here and there. You know, like you can debate this forever, man. We can debate this for weeks, right? You can say provide proof and this and the other, and I can say just look at footages and so on. What is going on in Gaza is pretty brutal, bro. And there have been lies throughout the whole thing over the last year or two. I'm not sure if I'm like comfortable leaving the fate of my country in that guy's hands, bro. Like, it just, me as an Iranian, like I won't be able to sleep sound at night if we're just sitting here saying, just let Israel run amok and do whatever they want. I understand, because Netanyahu multiple times has posted videos, and in my opinion, kind of is propaganda. He's posted videos saying, the noble Persian people, let me free you, this and the other. And I think that resonated with a lot of people. I feel like a lot of people support him because of that, but we have to look at the guy's track record, bro. We just have to look at his track record, and we cannot take a side. Our side should be Iran, bro, first and foremost, in my opinion. Now, look, we both have our opinions, fair enough. All I wanted to do is just get on this show to sort of correct a lot of the things that this John person has said, which was actually fucking boiling my blood, bro. So let's start with Mohammad Reza Shah, which was sorry.
Wait.
Reza
Can
Shah.
I respond to the things that? No. Wait.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, regarding the cessationists, and you saying these people have a lot of parties and stuff. Well, actually, let me hold on. Yeah, there we go. Let me just show you how very little in number they are and how we don't need to worry about them. Okay, this is a very credible study. Okay, I've checked this. These people are very reputable in their data collection, and they're not connected to any opposition forces in Iran, right? So if you go look at here among Iranian people, if you look at this Abdullah, I don't know if you know Abdullah Muhtadi. When it comes to the cessationists, he's the most popular guy, right? So Reza Pahlavi, Prince Reza Pahlavi, he represents he basically, the people who support them, they want a strong they want to respect the border integrity. They want secularism. They want democracy. They want a good relationship with the United States and Israel. So you can see his support in Iran is around 80%, right? You see that? And you see the cessationist here, Abdullah Muhtadi, his support is 1.6%. Khamenei, his support is less than 1%, 0.6%. Musavi, this guy would represent the reformers. So a reformist is getting less than 1%. Musavi is the most popular reformist. So you can see that he has less than 1%. The former president has 0.3%, even less than Khamenei. And Maryam Rajavi, which is the leader of the MEK, she has 0%, right? So if you're worried about Iranian people divided and everything, you can see Iranian people support Reza Pahlavi the most, and they want a secular democracy that has good relationships with Israel and the rest of the world, with Israel and United States. With regards to Bibi lying, and first of all, you said Netanyahu said that he told Iranian people that let me free you. He didn't actually say that. He said that the only people that could bring freedom to the Iranian people are the Iranian people themselves. That's what he said in the video.
Yes.
He said nobody could free the Iranian people other than the Iranian people. But first of all, you're saying Netanyahu lies, or this is about Israel as a whole. This is not about Netanyahu. You say we should put Iran first. Well, sure. If you want to put Iran first, you put Iran first by recognizing that we have allies. Every nation becomes stronger by building strong ties with other nations. Every society that becomes great is through partnership and building strong allies. And Israel and the nation of Israel and the nation of Iran are the best natural allies. I mean, if you don't like Netanyahu, forget about him. Focus on the entirety of Israel, right? Israeli people and Iranian people are in the Middle East. They have similar values. They want secular democracy. They're fighting the same enemy, both ideologically and politically. Politically, they're fighting the Islamic Republic. Ideologically, they're fighting Islamic tyranny. So they are natural allies, and it makes sense for them to bond with each other. Even if you want to put Iran first, you could put yourself first by building strong bonds. With regards to the situation in Gaza, you say the situation in Gaza is horrible. Yes, the situation in Gaza is horrible, and because Hamas designed it to be in such a way. Israel has done more than any country ever. The IDF has done more than army ever in history to try to reduce civilian casualties. The high casualty numbers are because of three things. One, high population density, second in the world. Two, the enemy refuses to wear military uniform while fighting. The only time they wear their military uniform is when they're coming out and putting out, like, videoing themselves, right? Three, they use human shields. That's why the number of civilians dying are so high. But even though they're so high, they're still the lowest in modern warfare if you compare civilian casualties to combatant casualties, right? So Israel has gone above and beyond any country ever in the world to try to reduce civilian casualties. So yeah, the situation in Gaza is terrible, but we could only condemn Hamas for that, not Israel. Anyway, I'm done.
Yeah. So with the PDF that you showed me earlier with the slideshow, look, honestly, I do hope that's true, because 80% of the population vouching for one man is definitely a positive thing, I would say, rather than, it being divided greatly. So I do hope that's true, to be honest with you. I do hope most of the Iranian people are sort of unified there. With
I can send you the study if you want.
Yeah, sure. If you can just link it in private chat. So with him having 80% of the support, look, that's fantastic. But I have watched a lot of his interviews as well over the last few years. He did go on Patrick Bet David as well. And he talked about how, he's been asked multiple times, are you interested in running for power when it comes to, the Iranian, revolution that potentially is going to happen? And he went on record to say that he actually is not really too interested, but obviously that could change. He merely wants to assist the sort of transition.
He is the leader now. Oh, well, So there's three phases, right? The revolutionary phase, the transition phase, the after transition phase, right? So when it comes to the revolutionary phase, he's already the leader. He has a whole team around him, the Nufti Foundation, and they already have a plan for the transition period. They have the most detailed plan. I could send you the plan. It's amazing. It's actually the most well-designed plan for a transition period, not just in Iran, but in history. And there's nobody else that has a plan this detailed as much as him. I could show you the plan.
Of course, yeah. I mean, his dad was the king. Right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, it's not just because there's that. It's because he actually cares about expertise, and his entire team is not based on yes men. He has surrounded himself with experts in every single field. So that's why his team is so good, right? Yeah. But what you're talking about is the after the transition period, okay? The after what he says about the after the transition period, he says that it's up to the people, and people, the sovereignty belongs to the people, and the people needs to decide who wanted to have as a leader. Okay, and we're not even talking about that. I mean, if we get to the point where we have to worry about who's going to be our leader, who's going to be king, who's going to be prime minister, that means the main problem is over. We're right now focused on having him as a leader to topple the regime, not necessarily who if he's going to be the leader or not after the regime falls. Afterwards, we could worry about that later. That's a completely different discussion. And he has said that he will allow the people to decide what they want to do.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I'm all for it, man. I mean, first and foremost, I think this is something you and I can agree on. We just need to get these guys out. And I think that's the one thing that the majority of the Iranians can sit here and agree on. What comes afterwards, I mean, it's kind of, the irony is, though, when this happened in 1979, because obviously my grandfather and, everyone else were sort of potentially in those protests, a lot of the people in Iran, or they weren't, I don't know. But it's interesting, the irony of it, because they were probably sitting down back then and they were like, nothing can be as worse as the Shah, worse than the Shah, sort of hoarding the country's wealth and stuff. Surely these guys that are coming in next are going to be better. And then they came in. But I truly believe that not a lot of things could be worse than what's going on right now in Iran. I honestly reckon. But anyway, the one thing we can agree
And the
on
Shah
is
was and the Shah was not hoarding. The Shah's wealth, as fabulous as that was so insignificant to the amount of growth he brought, economic growth he brought to the Iranian people. And the Shah was obsessed with lifting up the poor. He would go visit village to village. He would actually go attend elementary schools to see the quality of the education. He set
yeah,
up classes, elementary classes for adults. So because so many adults could not read and write, and he wanted to make sure the farmers could read and write. And he will show up
sure.
in the villages checking the quality of the teachers to see if the farmers are learning how to read and write.
Mhm.
That was a man obsessed with lifting up the poor. It's so unfair the way we have videos of him actually going out and sitting in the classes and watching the teachers teach to
Yeah,
see if
yeah, of
these
course.
adults who don't know how to that was a man who was obsessed with trying to improve his people. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
things that they say against him is so unfair. It was just leftist propaganda that spread
Uh,
everywhere, and it's still
a lot of
lingering
it, a
on
lot
there.
of it was propaganda, man. And the thing is,
Yeah.
guys, you don't even have to look at Mohammad Reza Shah. The stuff that this John guy was saying beforehand, absolute just idiocy, bro. You guys have to go back to look at what his father did, right? Reza Shah himself, I personally call him the country's father, essentially. So
Yeah.
things such as, but not limited to centralizing power, modernization, infrastructure, education, and secularism, which is what we need right now. Secularism, that's the main thing we need right now. Legal and social reforms, economy and industry improvement, foreign policy improvement. These are just some of the things. Obviously, laying out road work, railways in the country. He completely, after the Qajar dynasty, modernized the country, handed it all down to his son after he got dethroned in the 40s, I believe it was, during the Anglo-Soviet invasions. I think is when they came in and they took his
Yeah,
power away and gave it to his son.
yeah, and
Um,
the reason why he did that is because he realized that if he fights against them to keep power, a lot of Iranians would die, because he
Definitely, yeah,
realized that it's not worth fighting. So he just gave up power so that he doesn't fight a pointless war. That's why
yeah.
he didn't fight.
And guys, you want to talk about corrupt monarchs? Let's talk about corrupt monarchs. Let's talk about 20 years before that, the final czar of Russia, Nicholas. When his power was threatened, what did he do? He gunned down his own people. If you want to talk about, corrupt monarchs and so on, you want to talk about oligarchs and rich monarchs. When you're talking about the Shah or his dad, we can talk about the Russian oligarchs. I mean, they're not monarchs, but they're oligarchs in the end of the day. They're the people that really hoard wealth. Those are the real corrupt people, guys. The people that silence any political enemy, any political sort of, you know. Um, but
Yeah. And
it's
Reza Shah lived at the time of like Hitler and Mussolini and Stalin, and like that was the age of, and he treated his people like compared to them, like he was so nice to his people. Like people criticize him because when the terrorists, the leftist terrorists that were trying to divide the country, he went and crushed them. I'm like, oh my god, he was an evil dictator. I mean, he never turned against his own people. He never did to his people what Stalin and Hitler and Mussolini. He never did anything like compared to what was the norm at that time. He was ahead of people. Like Judge Reza Shah's level of democracy. They compare him to today, and what is the norm today. But if they compare him to what was the norm back then, he looks like he was like a saint, especially in the Middle East, right? Like
yeah,
compared to
yeah,
all his neighbors, and
yeah,
compare even to some leaders in Europe, he was so much more democratic
yeah.
compared to them.
It's actually insane. He was the love he had for his people was it was just beyond the sort of love that a lot of the European monarchs and leaders had for their people, to be honest, guys. Go look it up yourself. Both he and his father moved on without violence. They didn't hurt anyone. They kind of just moved on. Look, during the 79 revolution, a lot of, I guess, the only thing you can really debate is a lot of the shops burned down in Tehran and stuff like that. But that can actually be debated. A lot of people reckon it was the Islamic Republic that did that and put that around the Shah's neck and this and the other. And, there was a lot of that. But other than that, guys, these two men, son and father, peacefully moved on. They didn't kill anyone. that tells you everything you need to know about the love they had for their people and country. I'm not going to sit here and say they were perfect. I'm sure if you do enough digging, you'll find something, as you will with any leader. But moving on, guys. So we spoke about all the beneficial things that his dad brought to the country. Let's talk about what Mohammad Reza Shah brought to the country, the son. Economic growth, again, improved education, improved women's rights, improved national power, and improved cultural freedom. And they're just some of the things, guys. Now, just quickly, I'm not going to bore you with the details because the gentleman here that runs the stream, he's already spoken about this at length. Let's summarize the great things that the Islamic Republic has brought to Iran, okay, over the last 40 years. So buckle in. Human rights abuses, women's oppression, persecution of minorities, economic mismanagement, foreign interventions, nuclear tensions, repression of LGBTQ, environmental neglect, authoritarian rule, and brain drain, which is a suppression of academics and activists. Okay? Those are just some of the things. And let's talk about the economy side of things, right? Corruption and cronism, sanctions fallout, inflation and currency collapse, unemployment and underemployment, mismanagement of oil wealth, shrinking middle class, shadow economy, environmental costs, monopolies and lack of competition, and inequality. And again, guys, these are just some of the things. Guys, if you go to, don't listen to any of this bullshit that these radical Islamists abroad are telling you, you're seeing in the media, or some of your radical Muslim friends in real life are telling you. Go online, do your own research. Guys, I lived in Iran for 9 or 10 years, okay? For the first 9 years of my life. We were still using buses and planes from fucking 2-3 decades ago. 2-3 decades. That the stuff that we were using was so old. I remember when I was a kid, we were using buses and cars from the 70s still, because there was no advancement in the country at the time. There was barely, I mean, still, even if you go to Iran, I'm sure, some things have improved. Internet's kind of improving. Some cars are improving, sure. But we are still driving cars from decades. It's actually embarrassing, the shit that these guys have done to our economy, guys. Some of the sources that I want to talk about, because I feel like there's been a lot of talks on this stream, especially with that John guy with no sources at all. Obviously, there's Wikipedia, which kind of is hit and miss. There's the Britannica website. There's the EBSCO Research Starters, theweek.com, Washington Post, IranianKnowledge.com. There's all these sources, guys. Go look it up yourself. This is real information on the internet. Don't believe the shit that you see and hear. Honestly, man, this is what I wanted to talk about when I got on the show. But I guess I'll leave it at that if you want to add anything there.
Yeah, I just want to also mention, what was the other guy's name? The crazy guy that was talking before. I forgot his name. But he was also talking about the number of universities, because I mentioned that Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah built so many universities. And he was trying to flex by mentioning the crazy number of universities that were built during that Islamic Republic. But what I was trying to, if he actually didn't interrupt me constantly, what I was going to tell him is that what happened during the Islamic Republic is that the university industry turned into a money-making machine. And yes, the quantity of universities skyrocketed, but the quality was dropped. The quality of education, because right now there are people getting doctorate degrees in Iran that do not, like, they don't even know what the paper they write on is about. Like, there's so many people investigating this in Iran, and they go embarrass the people who supposedly are supposed to be experts in their field. And you can see that they don't even have elementary level understanding of what their degree is about. One of them was caught off guard because he doesn't even actually know the meaning of the degree that he has. He couldn't even name it. He couldn't even pronounce it, right? So they just flooded the country with universities here and there because they just exchanged money for degrees. But the difference is that the universities that were built during Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah, they were world class. They were ahead. They were some of the top universities in the world. I mean, I remember my father actually studied in Shiraz University. He's a heart surgeon, and that was a university that was competing with some of the toppest universities in the world back then. So the education level back during Mohammad Reza Shah's time was really high level. and it was into that was because they really tried to, because Muhammad Reza Shah really thought that the solution to democracy is education. So Reza Shah tried to keep the country together and build the infrastructure. Muhammad Reza Shah continued to do that, but then he also wanted to improve the culture, the education, and make the country free, like bring political freedom. But a couple of times when he tried, he realized that the communists and the secessionists are going to try to tear the country apart by doing that. So he came to the understanding that to bring democracy to Iran, we first need to educate. I mean, I don't know if that's correct view or not, but his understanding was that if we are going to make Iran democratic, we first have to educate people. So then he became obsessed with improving education levels, and he said that the things that we need to do to make Iran more free, maybe it won't happen during my time, it will happen during my son's time, right? So the democratic process that was supposed to be done by the prince Reza Pahlavi, but unfortunately we never got to that phase because of the Islamic Revolution. But that was the plan, to move on to making the country even more free. I mean, he gave the woman the right to vote in elections ahead of some European countries, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the first time that, look, I'm going to sound like a full-on nationalist here, guys, but that wasn't the first time that Iran kind of did something before a lot of other countries. You go back, what, like 2,000, 2,500 years ago, the first declaration of human rights under Cyrus the Great, abolishing slavery. Dude, guys, like, we're talking a country thousands of years ago, an empire, sorry, and skip a few hundreds of thousands of years, and slavery was still a thing in America in like the 17s and 1800s. That's crazy to think about. Like 2005. But anyway, I'm sort of derailing here. But yeah, in my opinion, man, based off what you said, I think education is key, but I think also education through freedom of information is key, because that's something that not a lot of Iranians, I mean, I feel like it's improving. Iranians are using VPNs and stuff like that to access, the free internet and so on at the moment. I don't know how reliable it is, if I'm being honest, but I think full unthrottled access to something like the internet, where they can do their own research, do their own reading, fact check, and see what's going on in the outside world, is very, very important, in my opinion. The more we sort of move towards that, the better things are going to get. Obviously, the younger sort of population in Iran are moving towards, or they've already moved towards, wanting a secular government. This has been happening for the last few decades. They don't want a theocracy anymore, guys. I mean, people in the comments vouching for one side or the other, for Islam or Judaism or Christianity or Old Testament or whatever. What is so wrong about having secular governments moving forward? Why not just have secular governments and allow people to just practice what they want to practice? Like, I don't understand. Why do we have to mix all these things? Like, it doesn't have to be this way. Let's just have an unbiased secular government that doesn't discriminate and runs treats everyone the same. And, we can all live in peace. I mean, obviously corruption and all that sort of stuff, whatever government takes power next, that's something we can deal with. But a theocratical government, I feel like there's not a lot of things that are worse than this. Like, let's just move past this first, and we can sort of take whatever comes next, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, that was good. Thank you.
Anyway, all good, man. Thanks for your time. I guess I'm going to go back to bed. It's 5:30 a.m. now.
Yeah, say apologize to your wife.
Yeah, I will. But thanks for having me, man.
All right. Thank you, Bob. That was
Have a good one.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, you too.
Bye.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm gonna read your super chats. What the? How did we get so many super chats? Thank you so much. 99. Oh, most of it is from you. 99 NOFX. NOFX. Okay, so learning to read with John. Oh, I should have read the super chats when he was on. Learning to converse with John. And then we get another super chat. John is the result of many first cousin marriage. That's okay. Ouch. Amir saying, Israeli here waiting for harsh blames. Please keep it with hard proofs and good manners. Armin, remember you're on the right. Keep calm and collective. I cannot. I mean, I don't want to hide my emotions, you know. I don't want to keep calm. I do want to express my anger, my enthusiasm. What do you guys think? Like, I feel like I'm coming here to share not just my information with you guys, but also my feelings with you guys. I think feelings are important. I think some of our feelings are justified. Our anger, our joy, our sadness, and I think it's good to share that with each other, right? And I mean, if somebody is being rude, if I get angry, I mean, is what are we? What are humans without their emotions? I want to basically put that all for you out for you guys to see. Okay, so I don't know what you guys think. You could let me know in the chat. I see a lot of Palestinian flags. You guys, the so-called the free Palestine people, why didn't you show up? Why didn't you? None of it came up. That crazy anti-Pahlavi guy just came. Delta is saying, can we dump John? Yeah, we did. Probably Jafar. Jafar. And go to the next. Okay, sorry, Delta. That guy was something, huh? 99 again saying, Bob, how will Iran be free without Israel? Exactly. The Iranian people are not armed. We need Israel. We need Israel. Israel is armed. And then Israel had to stop IRGC nuclear ambition. Exactly. Good point. And then 99 also saying Albanese doesn't have what? Two brain cells to rub together. What are you talking about? I don't know what this means. I think there's a misspelling here. I have no idea. Okay, no offense to Albanese. Oh, you mean Francisco Albanese? Oh, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood that. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Saying, Armin, I find your passion refreshing. Yeah, I mean, my branding is me showing you how I feel about things, not just the facts, right? I mean, people are saying facts versus feelings. I think like facts could come with feelings. The whole point of logic and rationality is to improve well-being, and what is well-being anything other than feelings? The point of rationality is for us to get to a higher level of feelings. That's the whole point of life, right? Rationality and empiricism are tools. They're not the goal. The goal are better feelings. Thank you. Master saying, Armin, you're doing well. We love you. Well, thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. I'm going to go to my own personal channel. Again, don't come to my personal channel. Most of you should not come. I'm going to go there live. The reason why you shouldn't come, only the people I know that come there should come, because my personal channel is not about politics. It's about business and using and entrepreneurship and using AI and other technologies to improve the systems that we have to make better money with our businesses and improve on our tasks and and progress in our life in general. So I know most of you here are here for politics and religion and talking about that. So I'm only talking to the people who like the entrepreneurial side of me. Most of you don't come, okay? That channel is not for you. But I'm gonna go to my personal Armin Navabi channel, and I'm gonna go live there in about 20 minutes. So if you are into entrepreneurship and improving your life, your systems that you have using technology, I have a very interesting live stream coming up in about 20 minutes. So I'll see you guys there. Oh, thank you, Amir. Amir saying, Atheist Republic, the best channel for Middle East geopolitics and religion analysis. Thank you, Amir. You always say that, and I never get tired of hearing you say that. Thank you so much. Saying thank you so much. Again, thank you, all of you. Thank you. I see a lot of you. I can't name everybody. So I'm just going to go. Okay, guys? Yeah, so I'm going to head out. I'm Israel Chai, Javid Shah. Mwah. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.